down. We the talk around town. Alex threw the ball to Smokey for a touchdown. Ha. It's fourth down and you don't really want no more. We've been winning from the door. You should check the scoreboard. Ha. Check the scoreboard.
Welcome back to the Scoreboard USFL Week 3. If you're interested in the XFL playoff time in that league, that is a separate show that's been uploaded to this channel. You can find it in a different video if you look at the channel page. This is about the USFL Week 3. And some good games here as well. But I will have a bone to pick with you a bit later down this list. Just a couple games down this list we have to talk about. A certain elephant in the room. So, first of all, how are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing good, actually. I'm better than... I'm going to have to go with Maulers fans right now because it's turning out that they are just as bad as they were last year. I really had hopes for them that they could pull this together. You got your colors in line and, you thought maybe you could represent the city a little bit, but nah, it's not working out. Maulers are bad, probably the last place in this league as far as power rankings go.
The colors are the only thing that they have in line, it seems like to me. It's still looking bad. But I agree with that. Is that going to be your guardians for this league? You're going to be better than Maulers fans every week until they win?
Yes,
pretty
until
much.
They win, it'll have to be. I thought about putting the showboats in there after that showing. Yeah.
No showing. I'm calling them the boats.
Yeah.
The Memphis boats until they win a game.
Yeah.
Because that team did not show up at all. Which, by the way, the Stars struggled mightily to beat, if I remember correctly.
I do have something to say about that. No, we'll get to it.
Okay. Let's get into week 3 here first. No, actually, what is our points? What are our points? I need to know.
Well, you had a perfect week again because we only disagreed on one game, and that was the Panthers and the Stars. That's where we differed, and that's where I lost a point, bringing the total 7 for me and 8 for you.
That is 8 for 8, by the way. 8 correct out of 8 picks. I like that. I like that record, and I will keep going with that record. And that one game that's making the difference, by the way, we will talk about that later.
Yeah.
Let's start off, though, with the juggernaut, the Birmingham Stallions, hosting the New Orleans Breakers. Battle of the 2 undefeated teams.
Yeah, definitely. I think one of these teams is clearly better than the other. I think the Breakers feel a lot like last season under, Kyle Sloter, where the team is good and they're going to win a lot, but they are just above the middle of the pack. I feel like they're mediocre, just barely above it, so they're going to beat all the bad teams, but they're not going to win against the really good teams, and the Stallions happen to be a really good team with Alex McGough. Looks like he's probably going to be the guy for the rest of the season, which I think I also heard, speaking of Sloter, did they not sign Kyle Sloter as the backup now with Jamar Smith being out? Maybe so.
The Stallions? Oh, it could be.
Yeah, I thought I heard something like that. I'd have to look into it, though. McLeod Bethel-Thompson is good, though, I'll tell you that. I watched an interview with John DeFilippo after this game, and he said that Wes Hills is the hot hand at running back, so they're going to stick with him. I love Johnny Dixon. I love a team that can use the tight end, and Sage Surratt right here, so this is looking good. But on the other side, they're using the tight end also. They're using 2 of them, as a matter of fact, Jay Sternberger and Thaddeus Moss, the son of Randy Moss. Right there, along with Davion Davis and Austin Watkins. This team is great. Skip Holtz got it firing. I will be picking the Stallions at home.
42-2 was the end result of that slaughter of the Memphis Boats last week in Birmingham. And yes, Kyle Sloter is back up for the Stallions now, which is good because he's a above average quarterback in the USFL, and he's a backup, which Jamar Smith also was both of those things, or Alex McGough was both of those things, depending on how you want to look at it. They kind of rotated them in and out. Here's a question that I'm not even, what I'm picking. I'm picking the Stallions. Here's the one question that I have, and the one concern that I have for this team. What happens if an NFL team wanted to pick up Alex McGough before the USFL season's over? How would a trade look if an NFL team traded with a USFL team? Because you can't trade picks, right? Because you have separate drafts. So you'd have to trade a player. but the NFL's veteran minimum is much higher than what the USFL can afford. So how would that work? Like, say, like the Colts came knocking, they were like, okay, we're gonna give you this like second string or like the slot receiver who in the USFL will be an impact player. We'll give him to you for Alex Magoo in July. How does that play out? Like, do they trade the NFL player into the USFL and still pay his salary, like NFL veterans minimum, because you can't pay him less, right? That's a breach of contract. Also, the player wouldn't take that trade. How would that go? I'm wondering.
So you're saying Jacob Eason will be the new Stallions quarterback?
Trade him for Magoo? I'd do it. I'll do it if I'm the NFL GM.
Yeah. Yeah,
I mean,
of course.
The passer rating 147. I mean, this is the M stands for MVP, the C stands for clutch. All the other letters also stand for probably good adjectives that I will come up with throughout the season. I mean, what do you want me to say? Four touchdowns, 300 yards. Took the show straight from the boats and put up 42 points. Stallions go. They beat New Orleans probably by double digits. Best team in they're the best football team that is not in the NFL in the world. Done. That's it. All I have to say. Maybe no, they're not better than an NFL team. I was gonna say they might just go and beat the Panthers on a bad day. Not just yet. But remember, let's talk about Aaron Rodgers at the moment taking over Joe Namath's number. About 50 years ago, the New York Jets beat Johnny Unitas and the Indianapolis Colts.
Yeah.
Showing that the NFL is not invulnerable because the AFL was this inferior league. It is possible. It is entirely possible. Give it a few years. We have the boats at the Gamblers.
The no-show boats.
The no-show.
Listen, they tried. I guess that's all we can say. The only points they scored was on a safety. It was a really bad game. I'm wondering what to think because Todd Haley had a bad season last year also. So maybe it's Todd Haley. Maybe that's the problem. Maybe it's not the quarterback. Maybe it's not Brady White. Alex Collins is the high spot of this team at running back, but other than that, they don't have a lot of stars. Vinny Papal looked okay. But the Gamblers on the other side are also really bad. So I'm really having trouble figuring out who's the worst here. Kenji Bahar is not good. I feel like this game may have been a little better than last week. Like they looked a little better. TJ Pleasure was fine. They also use a tight end, which is Josh Peterson, who happens to be Coach Doug Peterson's son, and Anthony Ratliff-Williams looked okay. I still haven't figured out who I want to pick here. I guess since the showboats were the no-showboats last week, I'm going to leave the boats out of this and just pick the Gamblers and see if you have the courage to do that yourself.
Yeah, see, the Gamblers is traumatic for me, right, from last season. It's how many points I've dropped to that team, and I have a perfect record to defend here, so it's difficult to trust them. Difficult to trust the boats as well, though, after that showing. But then again, it was the Stallions. There's not a lot of reason to pick either one of these teams, which makes it surprisingly difficult to decide on this game. And because of that, I'm going home team. I really like, and by the way, the home team technically here is the Showboats because this game is played in Memphis, which the stadium they share. But I'm going with home team being the Houston Gamblers because probably more Gamblers fans will show up. I don't know. Maybe they'll have like an exclusive ticket right kind of thing. It'd be weird if there's a majority of Showboats fans in this stadium, right? Doesn't really make sense. There has to be some kind of restrictions. But I'm flipping the coin. I'm taking the Gamblers. As do the sports books, by the way. The Gamblers are 3-point favorites in this one. And it's expected to be a low scoring and probably a low quality game. But I'm still going to watch it and hope that my perfect record keeps up. Maulers at the Stars.
Yeah, I got something to be. Let's start with the Maulers, though. They're the worst team in the league. They don't have much going for them. I don't feel good about James Morgan or Troy Williams going forward here. I don't even feel good about Madre London, who is probably the best player on the team. Dwayne Gary is bad. Josh Simmons, Isaiah Henney, those are probably your best wide receivers. It's all bad. It's all bad, Maulers. Like, come on, can we do something? What was it? Reuben Foster got popped by Dixon in that game. He got flattened. I mean, it wasn't like he just pancaked him or anything, but he popped him really hard. We'll get back to that later, but it was Victor. Did I say Dixon? Darius Victor was the one that hit him. But okay, so far as my stars go, I think Case Cookus is still injured from the championship game last year. He was hobbling around. Yeah, and if he can't use his legs, then it's not going to be a great season for him. Hopefully he can get over it somehow. I bet they still wish they had Brian Scott to back him up. But other than that, I mean, you got great wide receivers. You got a great tight end in Ryan Izzo. Corey Coleman is NFL talent. Of course, Matt Colburn is decent. I'm going to pick the stars here just because the Maulers are that bad, but I don't feel good about them going forward if Case Cookus is going to hobble around for the rest of the season.
I'm not going to let you get out with that excuse. I told you what was going to happen last week. I said this is going to be a reality check because those stars are mighty mediocre because there's not a whole lot of talent around Case Cookus, and that has been proven to be abundantly true.
I disagree.
You disagree?
Corey Coleman is an excellent wide receiver, and Matt Colburn is a really good running back. Jordan Sewell also is great, and like I said, Ryan Izzo, the tight end, the guy's good. But Case Cookus and the Stars depended on his mobility. There's no doubt about that. I wish Brian Scott was on this team so he could come in and save them, but he's not there. Who do we? I forgot who we had back up. Hold on, it's Kevin Thompson. I do not feel good about Kevin Thompson coming in and saving this. The UNLV, Sacramento State, and Washington. The guy's bounced around everywhere. Even went to the BC Lions at one point in the Canadian Football League. But either ways, Case Cookus is the only guy that's going to help this team win. If he's not mobile, it's not going to happen. But I'll take him here, of course.
That's what I'm saying, though. He's still the most explosive runner on the team if he does run, because your superstar running back Colburn, 23 yards on 9 carries. That's not doing much. That's not moving the sticks. And then if he has anything less than a stellar day passing and breaking the pocket and getting those critical first downs with his feet, the Stars are a very limited team. And compared it to the Panthers, I said last week, this is going to be a reality check because the Panthers are better. They have gotten good, and they have gotten good at running the ball since last year. Mm-hmm. When they picked first overall and they whiffed on Shea Patterson, and they rebuilt with Josh Love, who may or may not be better than his brother. We will find out soon. The Stars have some issues, and with that being said, of course, this week they're playing the Maulers, so I'm taking the Stars. I'm curious what you will say though next week if the Stars lose this game somehow.
Oh, if they lose this game, it's doom and gloom from this point on.
You're going to have to be better than Stars fans because it happens to be against Pittsburgh.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, absolutely, yeah.
You better hope that doesn't happen.
Unless the Showboats lose by 40 again.
Against Houston? No, I don't think so. There's not going to be a combined 40 points in that game.
No.
And neither probably in this one, I would say. Stars should prevail. This is they coming off the reality check. Now it's back to work as usual, and that means scrap out wins against teams that you are supposed to be better than, but it's no longer a gimme. Okay, it was. I'm not gonna speak ill of them from last season because they were successful, but them even getting to that championship game was kind of unexpected. We all thought
absolutely.
thought the Generals would wipe the floor with them in the Northern Championship.
It's because the Stars got better as the season went along. They were peaking at the right time. They got better and better, and everybody expected them to carry over into this season because you have mostly the same people. You even added Corey Coleman, so it should have been good to go. But like I said, I wish we had Brian Scott still. Back
to reality. Middle of the pack. Got to get these scrappy wins.
Yep.
I'll take the Stars, though. Beat the Maulers. Generals at the Panthers. Closing it out on Sunday night.
And I will give you this one, that the Panthers is way better than anyone thought they were going to be.
There you go.
Yeah, that's the truth right there. DeAndre Johnson and Pro Cup, they are actually running a 2-quarterback system. That was my problem with the Generals last year using DeAndre Johnson and Luis Perez and switching them in and out. And of course, they won games, but I think they could have done better. They could have been in that championship game if they would have picked one, rode them, and stuck it out. But apparently, Mike Riley loves the 2-quarterback system. Darius Victor, like I said, he laid out Reuben Foster. That was just a really good hit. I was surprised because Reuben Foster is such a big, dominant Alabama-type linebacker. And Darius Victor, here comes the little running back and just popped you so bad. Cameron Echols-Looper looks good. The team is not bad. They're better than I thought they were going to be. But so is the Panthers, and the Panthers are even better. I actually wrote down Jordan Love when I was writing down stuff about the Panthers, but Josh Love, both of these guys are starting quarterbacks at this point in time, thanks to Aaron Rodgers leaving. Reggie Corbin and Stevie Scott, they got a 2-running back system. Trey Quinn, probably my new favorite wide receiver out of the slot here in this entire league. So it's up there with Corey Coleman at this point. Ishmael Hyman. Mike Nolan has this team running. Oh, and your tight end, Cole
Hicatini.
Yeah, Hicatini.
That's an NFL veteran.
Yeah, this team is actually really good. I'm taking the Panthers at home.
I will agree with you. Take the Panthers. I think I made that point last week, so I will just make this easy pick here. I think the Panthers have a good argument to be the second best team in the league. Especially, if the Stallions get a convincing win against the Breakers, the game that we're looking forward to and projecting as a championship game might be Panthers and Stallions. As unlikely as that sounded, and it's so paradoxic because if you remember at the start of last season, the inaugural season, who were the betting favorites before the season started to win it
Panthers.
all? Were the Panthers with Shea Patterson the first overall pick, and they stunk it up bad.
Yeah.
And they come in this year with no expectations and are looking pretty good. I think you call that a post-hype sleeper.
Yes, absolutely, and that's what they are. The Panthers are the post-hype sleepers of this league.
Not going to be slept on for much longer. They're going to win this one as well. They're going to be 3-0. Probably beat up on the Showboats and the Maulers in the following 2 weeks. And then it's time to go to play the Stallions. And that could very well be 2 5-0 teams. The way that the schedule is looking up until that road. So that could be the big highlight of the season. Though this Michigan team's incredibly well-rounded. It's not just the offense. Of course, they take the air out of the ball. They run it incredibly well. Josh Love is a dual threat quarterback, though he doesn't run as much as Jordan used to do. But their defense also is a hidden gem. I mean, you talked about Case Cookers being hurt. Like, he got beat up. I mean, he took the beatings, like 5 games worth of beatings in that game. So that defensive line is incredible. They're forcing a lot of mistakes, forcing interceptions. And they're getting to the quarterback. So those are incredibly valuable things to have. Pass rush. Because of the dominance of the passing game, the pass rush is the second most important unit in pro football at this point in time. And the Panthers sure have that, as do the Stallions. That's where they're good teams. Panthers are going to comfortably win this game. And I believe I am on a pretty good road to 12-0 here. My biggest concern is the Gamblers Showboats, because that is a coin flip. The other ones I'm feeling good about. What do you think?
We picked all 4 home teams. Both of us picked the same lineup here. So if it does work out that way, I'll at least be 11 out of 12, which is not bad at all.
True. Yeah, that's right. That's still a good record. Wonder how long we can keep that up, because we started into the XFL with the goal being 75%, and that was dashed pretty early on after a few weeks. And that USFL, maybe it's having the experience from last year and kind of knowing what's up.
Looking back on it, yeah, you're right, because 40 games played in the XFL through the end of the season there, 25 to 26. So yeah, not quite 75%.
60%.
Yeah, 60.
Not great. Not great.
We'll do better in the USFL because we have last season to go off of, and then as we've seen so far, then it has paid off.
Yeah, with a small changes. I will say that we got a bit lucky that the Panthers played the Gamblers in week 1, because otherwise we would not have picked the Panthers and we would have missed out on that point.
Oh,
they
absolutely.
paid anyone else. They played the Stars in week 1, and of course we would not have picked the Panthers. Mm-hmm. No chance.
You want to know my power rankings?
Oh, let's hear them.
Because you may disagree with something here.
Okay.
Number 8 is the Showboats. I got the Showboats below the Maulers at this point in time because I really don't know who's worse. It could be the Maulers after this week. We may have more clarity there, but I've got the Showboats. Maulers at 7, Gamblers at 6, and then some of the winning teams. I actually have the Breakers and Generals, who are 2-0 at 5 and 4. Then I have the Stars at number 3. Panthers, there's no doubt about number 1 and number 2. The Stallions at 1 and the Panthers at 2.
Okay. I'll the last sentence, I'm not going to dispute. Stallions 1, Panthers 2. Mm-hmm. I'll put the Maulers at 8 for the simple reason being that if we have 2 terrible teams that haven't won a game, the next metric I look at is respectable games, like dignified losing. And the Showboats lost 27-23 against the Philadelphia Stars that just came out of a championship game. I think that is a respectable loss for a franchise that has just been established. On the other hand, your Pittsburgh Maulers have not lost in a respectable manner at all. They played the worst game I've ever seen in the opening day in New Orleans. And, well, then they scored 3 points just now against the Generals, who, by the way, are 1-1, not 2-0. I think it's the Breakers, Panthers, and the Stallions are the only 2 undefeated teams. Mm-hmm. So we're going Maulers at 8. I can't. We're going Showboats at 7, tentatively Gamblers at 6. Of course, it depends on the outcome of this week's game. They can share sixth place, and for all I care, I don't really mind. Generals at 5, Stars at 4. Listen, the Breakers are 2-0. The Breakers are 2-0. They've won both games. So Stars, middle of the pack. It's time to get those scrappy wins and make sure you even make the playoffs, because the Panthers are looking pretty good. Now, other than that, not much going on in North Division at the moment, because the Generals are struggling the same way. But Stars 4 and the Breakers in 3, and then with the Panthers, and of course the Stallions. Stallions should be number 1 and 2, ahead of everyone else. They're much better than everyone. Actually, I shouldn't boast too much, because the Panthers do look good, and they'll play in week 6. Mm-hmm. And we'll see. This destiny will be decided then. But that is my favorite for the championship game, my early championship game pick. How about the MVP radar, if I can ask you that?
Well, I know who yours is. It's going to be Alex McGough. And mine is no longer Case Cookus. Actually, it is Jordan Love at this point in time. Now, I haven't.
It's Jordan Love?
Josh Love. I keep saying Jordan every single time, but yeah, Josh Love. I'm going with Josh Love at this point in time. I'm sure there's a Ben DiNucci case to be made for McLeod Bethel Thompson over here, because he is throwing the ball a lot. Magoo is definitely AJ McCarron. And let's see, who are we comparing Josh Love to? I'm comparing Josh Love to Jordan Teamu. Yes. So, Mr. USFL here, Josh Love. Yes.
Okay, I don't understand this one at all. You have to explain this one to me. Josh Love has 4 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, a pass rating of 100.
Yeah.
Alex McGough has 5 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, and a pass rating of 140, which exceeds Aaron Rodgers' career total by 25 points.
It sounds like the same case, the same reaction you had when I said Jordan Teamu over AJ McCarron, right?
But that one was debatable, at least. This one, I don't get it. I don't understand.
Okay, maybe not at this point. I'm kind of projecting for Josh Love here, because he's definitely going to get better. He's going to get better.
You see the potential.
Yes.
You see the potential.
Yes. I mean, like right now, I can't just pick Alex McGough and go with you. I mean, that's not fun, you know?
Pick the guy who leads the league in completion percentage, touchdowns to interceptions,
Who else?
ratio, just touchdowns in total and passer rating.
Yeah. I mean, well, who else is there besides Bethel Thompson? Maybe.
I mean, those are my two names. I mean, we have Magoo and Bethel Thompson in second.
Like I said, that's the DiNucci thing. Like, yeah, he's exciting to watch, but okay, maybe he doesn't have the interceptions that DiNucci has, but I don't know. It's just not as exciting to me to pick Thompson here. That's why I'm going to project.
He's my second up.
I'm projecting and saying Josh.
Okay. Okay, do that. I'm going Alex Magoo, and if I'm looking at the odds, I'm pretty sure they'll back me up at this point. Of course, I'm a homer, but I'm pretty sure the stats are on my side. But hey, anything is possible. I agree with that. Anything's possible, and Stallions and the Panthers. It could be a wide receiver, but could it be a wide receiver if there's a quarterback with 140 passer rating on average, though?
If the season ends that way, probably
that is
not.
Pretty close to perfect. I mean, that is damn close to perfect. Mm-hmm. I don't think any NFL quarterback has ever sustained that throughout a full season. So I don't think Magoo's gonna sustain it throughout the full season.
No, not at all.
But if the season ends today, he is the unanimous MVP of this league.
Well, before the season started, I picked Bo Scarborough. That's not going to happen because apparently he's injured. That's why he only, ran twice last week or whatever. And I guess they didn't make that clear or I missed it in the game. But Zaquandre White looks great over there alongside CJ Marable. They still... Dude, I want to say this about Stallions before we get off of here. They had so many injuries that no one was thinking they could do what they did. This is an embarrassment of riches. You got wide receivers out. You got running backs out. You got your starting quarterback out. And you still have MVP quality players sitting on the bench. You got Sternberger and Moss at the tight end position. Yeah. You got Randy Moss's son as the second tight end on the team. Like, this is an embarrassment of riches. This is crazy. The Stallions are absolutely the best team in the league, but maybe one of these teams can make a case. Maybe it's the Panthers. Maybe the Stars will get better. Somebody's going to make a case for it by the end of the season. We'll see how that turns out. Stallions are they're too good, man. They are.
I agree, which is good because we are all Stallions fans here, right?
I don't know. I mean, it's an Alabama team. I don't know. I do respect. I'd respect the talent that they have comprised here. The amount of talent they have put together for a spring league. This is an amazing assortment of players here, and if everybody was healthy, maybe they got a shot at one of the worst teams. Maybe the Houston Texans or something. Maybe the Panthers.
Not that far away. It's not that far away. It is far away, but not that far.
Yeah.
They are the best team in pro football that is not in the NFL. That is for sure.
All these NFL guys are on this team. Like, it's crazy.
There are a dozen people on the Stallions that could be on NFL rosters if they wanted to be backups. Absolutely, that is the truth.
Oh, and Thaddeus Moss.
A lot of them will be.
Thaddeus Moss was on the greatest college football team ever in the history of football, and that was the 2019.
Oh, he played. Was he in Alabama in like around 2013? I must have missed that.
No. It happened to be the 2019 LSU Tigers. If you remember what they did to Alabama that year.
Yeah. But it was 2019 Alabama, not 2012, 2013 Alabama.
It was 2019 LSU. Yes.
It's hard to compare, hard to compare. I don't know about that. It feels like there's a whole lot more Pro Bowlers came out of that Alabama dynasty than out of that LSU team so far, but it's been only a few years, maybe.
Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, Joe Burrow.
Yeah. It's a good team.
Yeah. There's a lot of great players on that team.
A lot of things need to be proven as well, but we'll see. All right, that's the USFL. Let us know your picks in the comments, and will I go 12-0? is the other big question. Will I be able to manage?
I doubt
You don't
it.
think so?
Nah.
So who's gonna
Actually,
foil my plans here? The
you
Boats?
will. You will. I don't know what I was thinking on this one because I picked all the same guys.
You picked the exact same
Yeah.
team. Yeah.
You're going 12-0. That's obvious. Yes.
Perfect. And you're going 11-1, which is pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty respectable. Just don't break your back over the stars like I had at the Gamblers last year.
Yeah, exactly. Oh,
Except that it's a 5-5 team.
If it's looking bad, I'll know when to cut bait there.
Yeah. This could be a 5-5 team.
Ooh,
Who knows?
I don't like that.
No, long season ahead. Long season ahead. Gonna be a good one for me. I feel like I'm glad about the Stallions.
Yeah, we'll see in the championship again.
Yeah, we will see. I'm expecting to see the Panthers in this championship.
Possibly.
But it is early days. Do you have any other thoughts on the USFL?
No, that's it for this week.
Perfect. And drop us your picks in the comments here. See if you agree with anything we said, or do you have a differing opinion? And if so, why? Who's your MVP? And also, again, the NFL draft is right around the corner. We gave our picks for the first overall pick in the XFL video, which if you are curious about that, please go to that video. Also, if you want to know the XFL stuff, but we talked about the NFL draft really, really briefly, a couple of quarterbacks at the end of that, and our super secret pick for the first overall pick to the Carolina Panthers, who are on the clock, you can also find in that video. Other than that, leave us your picks for this week in the USFL, and we'll see you in the next one.
Deuces.
Check the scoreboard. Ha.